presents Lincoln College Basketball on 88.9 FM and streaming live from the iHeartRadio app.
Hi, and welcome in to Governor State University here in Union Park, where the Jaguars are taking on your Lincoln College Lynx here this afternoon in a dogfight that we're going to have going on here. We have last year's CACC conference and tournament conference champs here in attendance on their home floor. They're hosting your Lynx in this one. Again, I'm Nick Jackson bringing it to you live as usual. Hope everyone had a great New Year and Christmas, and we are ready, set to go here in 2019. The Lynx trying to get things started on the right foot here in this one as your Lynx come in 11-6 on the season here so far, as they're coming off a great win, a very tough win on the home floor again in the Jack D. Nutt Arena over the number 19 ranked University of St. Francis. Here in this one, they won 72-68 just a couple of days ago here in that one. Again, that was a great game for the Lynx, not only for St. Francis as well. We lost to them earlier in the season over in Fort Wayne back at the beginning, but since then it's been a different Lynx team, and they've been on a roll again, winners of the last 5, going for their 6th straight win here today against the Jaguars. But again, that was a tough St. Francis team. There was 7 ties, 13 lead changes in that ball game. The Lynx only led by as many as 6 the entire game. So it was a tough, crazy game. The Lynx were down by as many as 10 at one point coming in the second half, but they battled back, they regrouped, and they got the job done when they needed to. Again, part of it becoming by shooting so well from the field. They shot 40% from the field as a team, and they were 88% from the free throw line, which, as we all know, the Lynx, their kryptonite really is that free throw line. Last night, or the other day, 8 of 9 from the line, 88%. They got things done there. Also leading the way there in the ball game was number 0, LJ Johnson. He had 19 points, 5 rebounds, along with Trayvon Tyler. He had 19 points, 4 rebounds in the ball game. They share the high honors so far here in that one. Again, Trayvon Tyler, was interesting to see him back again. The last time Adam mentioned in the last game we did not have Trayvon over in St. Xavier. Yes, we still won, but however, we only had 9 total assists in the entire ball game. Much different when your leader's not out there on the floor like that. You can see there's not enough ball movement. Not everyone's getting their touches. We actually didn't score as many points as we normally would. We come in averaging about 80 points per game, and we only finished with 63. Luckily, it was good enough to get the job done because of some tough Lynx defense here in this one. But other than that, again, the Lynx going to have to do much better on that as well. But one thing that they do well on the defensive side of things, though, is they had, I believe, 12 steals in that ball game against University of St. Francis. That also led them to propel them to the win as well. Again, Trayvon actually had 6 of the 12, so he's doing it on the offensive and the defensive side of things as well. Again, Darnell Latham Jr., he had 15 in that ball game on 5 of 13 shooting. J.J. Turner, who was not in the starting lineup, but again, comes off the bench there for Coach Lepp. We've seen him from time to time. He's basically the 6th man of the year for this squad. He had 11 points, only 1 rebound, though. And that's where this Lynx team, they really struggle with, is once again, St. Francis, not as big as us, but also out-rebounded the Lynx as well. 42-28, actually worse than the last time they beat us. So interesting move there from Coach Lepp. We'll see what he wants to do there. The Lynx, they have the size, they have the talent, but again, it's just about getting the defensive rebounds and the offensive, and being on the offensive glass, and we'll see if that's going to be one thing that they need to do well here today. Again, also in that ball game, back on track, the Lynx had 16 assists in their win against St. Francis, and that's really kind of what you wanted to see. You saw more ball movement. You really kind of saw more of a team type of game played in that type of situation there, instead of just, the one-on-one ISO ball that we were kind of used to seeing there from Latham and Trayvon Tyler when they get in to the middle of things. But again, at Governor State, they are, again, like we mentioned, 7-9 on the season. They are going to take on your Lynx here in this one, as they're back. This is their first game back from break, as their last game was played back on December 17th of 2018, where they took on Goshen College, and Goshen College was a team that was 1-11 coming into that game, and somehow, some way, I don't know if maybe Governor State kind of looked over them or was looking forward to break. I don't know what happened in that one, but Governor State, they ended up falling 83-79 to Goshen College. I mean, Goshen College was only 2-11 on the season, so they're looking they're hungry, they're looking to bounce back, they're ready to go here because, I mean, they had all break to think about that loss to Goshen College. You know that they want to get back on the winning ways here in this one. They are 5-3 on their home floor. And some of the keys that you're going to have to look out for here for Governor State. The first one is going to be number 21. You might know him from a former Lynx. It is a former Lynx. That is David Anderson. He's going to be wearing 21. He's in the starting lineup tonight here for the Jaguars in this ball game. But again, a former Lynx. He was a double-double machine for Coach Lepp my freshman year back in, I believe that was 2015. And again, he went on and came here to Governor State, and since then has took off. He's had a successful career here. Also, Jamal Murray in the stands. He's already graduated, but he also played here. Another former Link that went to Governor State. So we're going to have a good one in store for us here today as Roy Nesbitt and this Lincoln College team set to go. We're going to turn the lights out on me here real quick. So we're going to take a quick break for the national anthem. When we come back, though, starting lineups coming your way next. So don't go anywhere. More Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X. We are back. Here is the national anthem just concluding here in this one. And, boy, it was a great one in that one. They played it through the speakers. I don't know how much nicer it could get right there. But again, we are ready to go here, set to go in action here. Let's meet the starting lineups here first for the visiting Lynx. But you guys know them all too well. Not much has changed. LJ Johnson leading us off here. He'll get the start, another start, his 7th of the season. Montez Crumble also in the backcourt here for Coach Lepp's squad. But again, the man you want to watch out for here is Trayvon Tyler back in the starting lineup here. As, again, he is going to be the key leader for this Lynx team in this one. Darnell Latham Jr. also in the starting lineup too. He is coming off a couple of bad shooting performances. Hopefully he can keep those, or he can get those back on track, as we saw him tear it up earlier in the first half of the season. And then Julian Powell, the big man down low there for the Lynx, getting the start yet again. He's going to have a big game on the board to see if the Lynx can come out on top. However, though, let's meet the starting lineup here for Governor State, as, again, the first one is going to be Shane Maple here for Governor State. Again, a transfer from Carl Sandberg. The Lynx should know him all too well, and we'll get to him in just a moment. But then followed by Jonathan Boatwright. He'll wear number 11 in this one. And then Robbie Brooks in the starting lineup as well. He's a key shooter here. Him and Maple really going to be the two to watch out for in this ball game. And then followed by Justin Shororek, as he's really kind of a catch-and-shoot type of guy. He's going to be the kind of like Hollowell from St. Francis if you were tuned into that game. He's really just going to be a catch-and-shoot from the perimeter, not going to drive, not going to do much there. He's kind of going to be their go-to shooter if they need it, spot up. Also, and then the last man standing there for the Jaguars here in this one, number 21, David Anderson. And you got to admit, we root for David Anderson, even though he's wearing a Jaguars uniform as of right now. But Anderson, a former Link, once a Link, always a Link here in this one. And that's the motto here for this Lynx family here. But for right now, for the 2 hours that we're going to be on the court, he is an enemy. And the Lynx are going to try to do everything they can to take it to him. And he's going to do everything he can to try to get a lot of buckets against his former team here today. Again, Jamal Murray in the stands, a former Lynx. He played for Governor State last year. He's in attendance here today as Governor State in the home white. And your Lynx in the road black uniforms here. Powell and Anderson set the tip away. And Anderson wins the tip. And we are underway here as it will be the Jaguars with the first possession of the basketball game. Maple will have it, trying to look for Anderson. He goes to the left wing, now swinging it around to Brooks in the corner. He drives in, puts up a floater, and gets that one to go. So 1-for-1 start here for Governor State, but the Lynx trying to push the pace is Johnson to Tyler. He corralled it, bobbled it in his hands a little bit, but now going to set up the offense here for the Lynx. He's on the left wing, back to Crumble with 20 seconds now on the shot clock. Takes one dribble, back to Tyler. Tyler on the left wing, thought about a step back three, instead feeds Powell down low. Powell turn around, back out to Tyler. Tyler for three on the wing, no good, off the side of the rim and out. Anderson pulls down the board here for the Jaguars, as now Maple comes in, throws a lob now, but he cannot finish there, as it was Brooks who was trying to catch that one, but Latham gets it in a full court trap here by the Jaguars, as Tyler ends up up with it. Now into the hands of L.J. Johnson. He drives in right side lane, puts one up on through contact, and we'll see if they say it was on the floor or in the act of shooting, as it looks like Johnson's going to head to the free throw line, so it is in the act of shooting. So Boatwright, he's going to pick up his first, team's first here in the ball game. And so far, Johnson, just 72% free throw shooter on this season. Comes in, knocked down his first one right there, make it 2-1 in favor of the Jaguars. And does have one more free throw coming, and the second one looks pretty good from way down here as well. And in case you were wondering, I'm in the corner. That's why I'm not on the sideline like we usually are, either sitting at the scores table or way up top. I'm actually on the baseline underneath, so kind of looking at it from the long ways, as here comes Governor State as Anderson has it. He has it poked away by Powell, and Latham gets it back, though. Across the court pass now, trying to feed Brooks in the corner, but he could not as he throws it away, and it's going to be the first turnover issued here by the Lynx as they throw it right into Tyler, and Tyler throws a baseball pass to Latham Jr., kind of being lackadaisical with it, as it was a heads-up play, but Latham caught it out of bounds. Therefore, it's going to be another turnover right back the other direction. And, again, you like Tyler trying to get this team. Jaguars, he caught him sleeping a little bit, but, however, though, Latham was still asleep as well from the bus ride. 2-2 is our score. Here come the Jaguars back the other way, though, as now we have a shot going up, and it is no good by Boatwright. Rebounded by Tyler. 2-2. Here come the Lynx in transition. Over to Latham. Latham for three from the left wing, and he knocks it down. So Latham Jr., 1-for-1 start here, and that's the man that really needs to get going here, because when he's hot, this Lynx team is very tough to stop, especially with him and Trayvon, as L.J. Johnson went for the steal right there. Ball's loose on the floor. Latham Jr. picks it up. Outlet now to Johnson. Johnson, a lob pass to Powell, and Powell slams it home. An alley-oop slam sandwich, and already we have a timeout taken by Governor State and the head coach here, Tony Bates, as he does not like what he sees early in this ball game. Trayvon Tyler fired up here in this one. Montez Crumble all fired up as well. Johnson in this guard play, untouchable here in the early opening minutes of this ball game. Also, Trayvon Tyler's family is in attendance here today, so you know he's going to try to do everything he can to impress him, which he's the leader of this team. I wouldn't see why not. 7-2 lead for the Lynx going into that timeout here just in the first 2 minutes. Tony Bates already calling that timeout, wants to slow the pace down a little bit. It's so far so good. I mean, I didn't think the Jaguars were looking too terribly. They just had a little few miscues, and really what happened on that last possession was Johnson went for the steal on Boatwright. He did get a piece of it. The ball was loose on the floor, and kind of nobody knew what to do because it was closer to the sideline. Maybe they thought somebody stepped out of bounds per se. I couldn't see it was on the opposite sideline. But again, this is a Lynx team that we saw in the game against St. Francis with the 12 steals. Already have one here today. They only won by 3. Therefore, you know those 12 steals in the ball game were really critical for this Lynx squad. Again, it was led by number 2, Trayvon Tyler. Look for Montez Crumble as well to get a hand in there. And this is really going to be, if the Lynx defense can step up here on the road, look for them to have a monster game here today. As Shane Maple is going to bring it up the floor here for the Jaguars, as he had 32 in the loss against Goshen College, as he gets it right now, catch and shoot from the top of the key for 3, and he knocks it down. So 7-5 now as Maple hits his first 3 of the ball game. Again, coming off of a 32-point game, you know he's going to be trying to find everything he can. And L.J. Johnson on the right wing drives in, denied though by Anderson as he drove in left side lane. Maple pulls it down, give and go with Boatwright. He's going to drive coast to coast, kicks it out to the corner, but instead we are going to have a charge taken by number 1, no other than Montez Crumble, as he stands in there and is not afraid to give up his body, and he did right there. A charge there on Boatwright. That's his second, so he's going to have to come out of the ball game. That's only the team's second as well. So Lynx have the basketball and the lead at 7-6, and now we have the officials stop the pace of play. I don't think the shot clock started, so they're going to set it up here. I still haven't changed it at all. And now we're going to have to go to the scores table for something. However, though, number 31, Grant Johnson, checked into the ballgame for Boatwright. as he had 2 fouls in the ball game. Again, a lot of family in attendance here as Tyler now with it on the right corner. He's guarded by Brooks, and he dribbles it out of bounds, lost control of it, and just kind of a misplay there by Trayvon Tyler. A rarity. You see him dribble a basketball like he did right there out of bounds. I think that might have been the first one I've seen in 4 years. But Maple and the Jaguars come back the other way. They trail 7-5 to your Lynx here with 17 minutes left to play in this first half. Jaguars now with it, Boatwright to Anderson. Anderson drives baseline, up and under move, no good, short of the rim, rebounded by Johnson. Johnson outlet now to Latham Jr. He's going to pull up from downtown from the left wing yet again, this time short. Johnson gets his miss, takes a step back jumper, no good, somehow finds Powell, turnaround right hook, and that one falls. So Johnson was blocked by Soriak, and then somehow found Powell, and Powell lays it up and in for the easy 2 over Anderson. Make it 9-5 now in favor of the Lynx. Anderson with it on the right wing, has it stolen away by Tyler. Tyler has a 3-on-1 fast break. We'll see if he gives it up. No, he takes it himself and lays it up and in. Trayvon Tyler now, as the Lynx got to get back on defense. The Jaguars were trying to push the pace here as of way. 11-5 lead now, as here comes the Jaguars back the opposite direction. As now Anderson with it. He's in the left corner. He's trapped. Double teamed by Tyler and Powell. Across the court pass down to Boatwright. Back to Maple at the top of the key. 12 seconds on the shot clock. He's still at the top of the key. Drives in. Left side lane. Puts up a floater short off the rim. And rebounded by Tyler. Tyler double team now. Trying to save it from going out of bounds. He does. Has a good play there by number 2 as he finds Johnson. Johnson over now to Latham Jr. in the right corner. He drives baseline, up and under move, no good. Denied, though, by the rim. Ball's loose on the floor, and it's into the hands of David Anderson for the Jaguars. Shane Maple trying to push the pace here in this one. He does as he finds Johnson. Johnson now with it on the left wing. Gives it down low here to Brooks, and he takes his jumper, no good. Long high arc, but Powell pulls down the rebound. Outlet now to Latham Jr. to LJ Johnson. Johnson to the top of the key now, and Powell. Powell takes the mid-range jumper and knocks it down from the free throw line right there in this one. Make it 13-5 in favor of the Lynx here in this one. Here come the Jaguars now back the other way as Johnson trying to drive into the lane. And he's going to be denied, though, and then I think it was batted out of bounds. So it'll go to the Lynx here, and another turnover by the Jaguars here in this one. And it's not a good start here for the Jags, as, again, these guys come in, averaging probably about, I think it was 15 turnovers per game. Already got about 3 or 4 so far in the first 5 minutes, as now they're going to have another foul picked up. This time it's going to go on number 2, Sterling Fields, as that's going to be his first team's third here in the ball game. Lynx lead 13-5. Latham Jr. set to inbound. He'll find Crumble. Outlet to Tyler. Tyler from the left wing from downtown. No, off the back of the rim and out. Rebounded by the Jaguars, and they're coming back the other direction. That was Johnson who pulled it down. It gives it to Brooks, and Brooks cannot finish, but the putback is in there for the Jaguars as Alex Purvifis knocks it down. 13-7 now. Lynx trying to come back the other way. Crumble running the point. Johnson with it on the right wing to the top of the key, and Powell. Bounce passes one as Tyler cut to the back of the rim. He kicks it out to Crumble. Crumble in the corner for 3, and you know it as Montez Crumble knocks down the long-range 3 from the corner. 16-7, 9-point lead here for the Lynx. Shane Maple now with it. He's going to try to answer from downtown, and you know he will as he knocks it down as well. And 32 points in the loss against Goshen College. You know he's going to have something to say about it in this ball game. 16-10. Now LJ Johnson trying to answer from the left wing, and he knocks it down. And we are raining threes here today in Union Park, as now Coach Lepp wants to talk things over, as it's back to a 9-point lead here for the Lynx. Trading threes left and right. First to Crumble, then Maple, then Johnson. And now this Lynx team, they're on a roll. They're looking really good, shooting the ball, playing particularly good basketball, and playing well. But again, one thing you have to look out for with this Lynx team is, like I said, they're going to get their hands in the passing lanes. They're going to be quick. They're going to try to go for those steals. They also have 4 blocks to go along with that as well. So look for them not only to be physical down low as well, but to kind of set some shots up. Also, for some other things you guys may want to know, the Lynx come in averaging 81 points per contest. Governor State only comes in averaging 75 points per contest. So this Lynx team has about 6 points over these. They average 6 points more than Governor State. But however, though, Also, the Lynx, one thing they also do better as well is they shoot the three ball a lot better. They're about 8 threes per game. Governor State just about a little over 6 threes per game. So it'll be interesting to see how many Shane Maple can really kind of throw up here and make for Governor State, as they will have the basketball coming out of the timeout. 19-10 lead for your Lynx, as Maple will have it. Maple at the top of the key trying to drive in, puts up a contested shot, almost got it to go. Powell couldn't corral the board as it's rebounded by Crumble. Outlet now to Latham Jr. to Tyler. Tyler in the left corner to fades Powell, who's running the lane. It was about to go up for a monster slam, but it was fouled hard, and that was the smart move there by the Jaguars. Otherwise, it would have been another monster slam sandwich here for Julian Powell. Instead, he's going to go to the free throw line for 2 opportunities. And we'll see who that foul was. See who the foul was on. But Powell does make his first free throw right there. Does have one more coming. Powell is 77% free throw shooter on the season, as J.J. Turner checks into the ballgame for his first minutes as he comes in for Darnell Latham Jr. Powell, one more free throw coming off the side of the rim and out, as he's 1 of 2. So 10-point lead now for the Lynx as the Jaguars have the basketball. 13.5 minutes left to play in the first half. 20-10 is our score. Maple with it at the top of the key. Thought about a 3 instead, trying to feed the one in the corner, but it's stolen away by Johnson. Give and go with Tyler. He tries to feed Powell, but Powell can't corral it, as he now has it stolen away by Maple. Out to Anderson. Anderson with the windmill dunk, and he says, hey, welcome to my house, former Lynx players, and that's all his teammates. He knew he wanted that one right there, and I say he got it. We'll see, maybe that gets Anderson going here for the Jaguars. Not something that the Lynx can afford right now, as Tyler gives it to Turner. He's staying at the top of the key. He almost has it poked away by Maple. Gets it back, though, to the corner and Crumble. Crumble from the right side. No. Turner with the tip back. No. Gets his own miss. It's batted out of bounds, and it's on the opposite end of where I'm at. So I believe they said stay here, and they will. It will be Lynx basketball underneath their own basket. 12:51 remaining in that first half. 20-12 as they throw it into Powell. Powell sets a screen, and he's trying to feed Johnson in the right side corner. Instead, Johnson drives into the lane, can't get it to go, put up a floater, tries to tip it back to Powell. Instead, it's going to be off of, I believe, David Anderson underneath the basket. So yet again, and the Lynx will inbound underneath their own basket. They throw it back into Powell. Powell catch and shoot a mid-range jumper from the baseline, and he knocks it down. So Powell showing some range here in this one. Not only can he throw it down, but can kind of spread the floor out just a little bit as well. Here come the Jaguars now back the opposite direction, as now that one's batted out yet again. Johnson goes flying into the stands, but they do say it was batted out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Jaguars here. In this one, they trail by 10 to your Lincoln Lynx, 22-12. Here with 12.5 minutes still to play in the first half. So they throw it into Anderson. Anderson now with it over to Fields. Fields give and go with Shawarak. He tries to put up a floater, no good, but he throws it right into the hands of L.J. Johnson. Johnson now trying to drive into the lane, feeds Crumble, who's running the floor with him into Turner, and Turner lays it up and in, who ran right down the middle of the lane, and he just lays it up and in for the easy 2. What great ball movement these linked backcourts has today. Again, Crumble, Tyler, and Johnson all have good ball movement here as Turner steals that one away. The Lynx going back the other way. Turner finds Johnson. Catch and shoot from the right corner. No. Offensive rebound, no. Goes to L.A. Bogan, who just checked into the ball game. Back out to Crumble. Lynx going to set up the offense here with a fresh 30. Crumble now with it. Gets a screen. Drives right side. Left side lane. Kicks it out to the left corner for Johnson. And he knocks it down in the corner. And this Lynx team on fire here today. Coach Lepp and the rest of this squad. The first guys off the bench. And it's another timeout taken here by Tony Bates, the head coach for Governor State. He wants to talk things over yet again, as it's 27-12 in favor of your Lynx. Again, great ball movement here by this Lynx team so far in this first 10 minutes of the ballgame. Not even the first 10 minutes of the ballgame. We've seen Tyler kind of, they're looking for the open man here. They're not playing selfish basketball like we saw earlier in the season, where you saw Darnell Latham Jr., maybe even Trayvon Tyler, when things kind of weren't going well. When we weren't shooting the ball particularly well, you saw that those guys really kind of stepped up and tried to take over and kind of played a more one-on-one. Now that they know they have a team behind them, you see these guys starting to pass the ball a little bit more. That's what I mean. You see Tyler, I mean, he leads the team in assists right now. He has 82 assists on the season. Again, you know coming in that he's going to try to find his players the way he can. I believe he almost had a double-double the other day just in assists instead of rebounds alone. So, again, he really leads this team. He's the leader of this team. You're seeing Darnell Latham Jr. step up as well and try to be the leader behind him, as he's really going to be the man to take over for Tyler when he graduates. But again, look for those two. If those two are kind of clicking on all cylinders at the same time, we saw a 40-point blowout against Cardinal Stretch, who was undefeated at the time we played them. So you could be looking at that again here today if these two can kind of get things going as they feed David Anderson. He's got it at the top of the key. He's working on Powell. This is going to be a premier matchup. Big man versus former big man for the Lynx as he drives in. Right side lane cannot hit off the glass as Bogan pulls down the board. Turner now with it in transition. Drives into the lane trying to feed Powell. Give and go. But Powell is going for the rebound instead of waiting for the pass, as now Maple ends up with it. He's going to take a three from the top of the key. Makes Johnson miss, pump fakes, and then knocks down the long-range three right there. So 27-15 is Maple. I mean, you give him an open shot, he's not going to miss, as we've seen that already here today. Crumble with it now for the Lynx. He throws to the right wing now, and Johnson trying to drive into the lane left side, puts up a floater off the front of the rim, and no good. Anderson for the Jaguars pulls down the board. Maple now with it, outlets now to Hardy, who cannot hit, driving in. And Powell pulls down the board. So one and done yet again for the Jaguars. And here come the Lynx back the other way, up by 12. 27-15 as Crumble bounce passes one to the right at the top of the post for Turner. Trying to feed one underneath for Johnson. Instead, stolen away by Anderson. Outlet now to Brooks. Brooks with a Euro step there and somehow gets that one to go over Turner here in this one. But Robbie Brooks with a good Euro step there. Turner kind of timed it perfectly, but Brooks was waiting for it as well. Johnson with it on the left wing to the top of the key, and Powell swinging it to the right side now for Crumble. He drives baseline, stops, takes the mid-range jumper, no good. Looks like Anderson and Maple didn't know who was going to bring down the board, but instead Maple pulls it down, and he's going to walk it up the floor. 27-17. Maple with it on the right wing. 9:49 left to play as here comes Anderson. He kicks it back out to the top of the key for Sororak, and he knocks down the long-range three right there. 27-20 now, still in favor of the Lynx. However, though, here come the Jaguars. You knew they weren't going to go away quietly. Again, a veteran team. These guys know how to battle back in game situations like this. Crumble now feeds Turner at the top of the post. Goes to the left corner now for Bogan. Bogan can spot up at any time. Finds Johnson at the top of the key. Johnson trying to drive in, left side lane, stops, takes the mid-range jumper, and knocks it down from the top of the post. And it's back to a 9-point lead here for the Lynx. 29-20 now in favor of the Lynx. 9 minutes left to play in the first half. Maple with it at the top of the key for the Jaguars. He's on the right wing now. He gets a screen from Anderson. He's trying to drive in. Left side lane is going to be fouled, though, in the act of shooting. It was a late call, but they finally call it, as that should make Shane Maple now go to the line for two opportunities. And again, he's going to be lights out here for the Jaguars in this one. And Maple, so far this season, 82% free throw shooter, misses the first one right there. As we have some substitution here, comes Darnell Latham Jr., Trayvon Tyler back into the ballgame as well for Powell and Johnson. As Maple does have one more free throw coming. The second one, that one's knocked down. One of two from the line, and it's a 8-point lead for the Lynx. 29-21, 8.5 to play here in this first half. Tyler, the leader of this Lynx team, back out on the floor with the basketball. He gets a screen from Turner on the left wing. He's guarded by Maple. Bounce passes one to the top of the key for Bogan. Bogan looking right, hands it back off to Tyler at the top of the key. Tyler on the right wing, trying to set up his man, size up his man, Maple, and kicks it out to Bogan. Bogan from the left wing now. Back to the top of the key to Turner with 5 seconds on the shot clock. That's blocked into the hands of Maple. Outlet now to Anderson. Anderson with the fast break dunk opportunity, and he slams it down. So David Anderson has two dunks against his former team here in this one, and you got to admit, he's probably feeling pretty good about those two, as it's 29-23. Latham Jr. now with it on the right wing. He's thought about driving baseline. Instead takes a step back jumper. No good. Gets his own miss, though. Kicks it out to Tyler. Tyler in the left corner for three. No, way too strong. Rebounded by the Jaguars here in this one. They're trying to push the pace, come back the opposite direction, 29-23, as Maple has it. Now at the top of the key again, he's guarded by Trayvon Tyler. Look for this matchup to be a good one down in the second half of this game. Maple fakes hands it off to Brooks. Brooks on the right wing, trying to fend Maple in the corner. He cannot. He's guarded by Tyler now as he picked up his man. Brooks now trying to drive in right side lane, but we're going to have a foul on the floor here in this one, as it looked like Brooks and Tyler kind of getting into it a little bit. And now Brooks having a little word with the official here. And I thought they called it in favor of Governor State. They did. And now we're waiting for some substitutions. Here comes DeAndre Freeman into the ball game for Montez Crumble. He'll take a seat for his first time, as the Jaguars are going to inbound underneath their own basket. And now we have a foul going the other way before the inbounds, as I couldn't see who it was. It looked like it was on David Anderson, a blocking foul. Anderson kind of smiling at the official, saying, I don't know about that one. I didn't see much, but they called it either way, and we're going back the other way. So just when the Governor State had something going for him, that was going to inbound underneath their own basket to set up a play, turned it over before they could even inbound. Lynx going back the opposite direction. Latham Jr. now with it to Turner. Turner trying to drive baseline, puts a one up off the glass and gets it to go. So Turner, even through contact, somehow, some way, still gets that one to go, as it's 31-23 in favor of your Lynx. Here comes Shane Maple. He's on the left wing for the Jaguars. He's at the top of the key. Bounce passes one to Brooks. He wasn't paying attention. No ball's loose on the floor. Bogan can't corral it. Brooks is there, and he lays it up and in. Brooks kind of flexing his muscles a little bit. I don't know about all that. He's trying to get his team excited, as now Tyler trying to drive in, and Brooks ran into him, and it's going to be a foul every time, and I think Brooks is a little frustrated here in this one. That's his second, team sixth here in the half, so one more. The Lynx will be in the bonus, as Latham Jr. going to inbound on the sideline. They'll throw it into Freeman. 6:50 left to play in the first half. Lynx lead 31-25 over Governor State here in this one, as Tyler with it on the right wing made his man miss. Kicks it up to the left wing for Latham Jr. He tries to take a long three. No good. Brooks pulls down the board as he kind of throws Freeman out of the way. And here comes Brooks now the other way, trying to drive in right side lane. Denied, though, by Turner, and Latham Jr. saves it in midair. They said he stepped out of bounds. It was right in front of me. It was awfully close. And in the act, though, it will stay with Governor State. But good defense there by Latham Jr. to try to save that one from going out of bounds. So Saraic now trying to throw it in underneath their own basket. They throw it into Anderson. Anderson, as it tipped by Freeman, as it was a miscue there. Anderson wasn't expecting it to go into the backcourt. And he kind of throws it over his head. Freeman and Maple ran after it. Freeman tipped it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Governor State, but back on the other end of the floor instead of underneath their own basket. So this time, no confusion on the inbounds as they throw it into Maple. 31-25, 6.5 minutes left to play. They bounce pass it to Anderson at the top of the key. He gets a screen as he finds Schwarak. Top of the key over to Brooks on the left wing, trying to feed Anderson down low, but Turner might have got a hand on it. He somehow gets it to Anderson, though, and he lays it up and in over Turner. So these two are good friends over in Lincoln. Anderson and J.J. Turner look for these two to have themselves a little bit of a battle going on down low. As Freeman now with it, drives baseline, tries to kick it out to Johnson. Over to Latham Jr. on the top of the key to Turner. Turner from the corner for three. No. Tyler trying to tip it back out, but throws over the back of Brooks. And he says, hey, man, my bad. He helps him up. Good sportsmanship there by number 2 and Trayvon Tyler, as that's going to be his first foul of the ball game. Team's third here for the Lynx. So yet again, staying out of foul trouble here in the half. 31-27. Maple brings it up the floor here for the Jaguars. Anderson now with it on the left, at the top of the left post, is now he hands it to Brooks. Brooks takes a step back three from the top of the key. No. Maple pulls down the board, but we're going to have I think he said no foul. They do say it was last touched by Shane Maple. I didn't know if they were going to call a foul on Freeman, maybe for kind of pushing Maple out a little bit, but instead they throw it in to Johnson. Here in this one, as Julian Powell checks in for J.J. Turner. 31-27 now. Freeman with it. Freeman on the right wing, back to the top of the key here for for Johnson. Johnson now over to Freeman. Freeman, he finds Tyler on the right wing. He had a double screen action. 9 seconds on the shot clock. He sizes up his man, takes a step back, takes the mid-range jumper, no good, off the back iron and out. Almost down for Trayvon Tyler. Instead, rebounded by the Jaguars, and here they come back the opposite direction. Anderson now with it, over to Sororak. He's in the corner. He's going to spot up for three and somehow gets that one to go, even with a hand in his face for a second. So look for that, but quickly down the other end of the floor, Tyler finds Powell, and Powell slams it home. A little slam compared to the other two that we've seen, but still a slam sandwich either way. He's got 3 of them here today. 33-30 now in favor of the Lynx, as now here come the Jaguars, and Shane Maple with the 3 from the top of the key knocks it down, and we are tied at 33, 4.5 minutes to play. Johnson now trying to bring it back up the floor, driving in right side lane. He's double teamed, gives it to Powell, and Powell trying to go up for a shot, but he's going to be fouled. Though it looked like Anderson might have gotten the basketball, but instead they say he got his wrist, and Powell's going to the line for 2. Again, Powell, he already has made 2 attempts at a free throw here today, made 1 of 2 so far. Again, Powell already has 11 in this ball game. Looking for 13 here if he can knock down both right here. And it's a 1-and-1 opportunity. It was not in the act of shooting, so it was an and-one, or a 1-and-1 opportunity, they said. And as he misses the first free throw. And here come the Jaguars back the other way. We're tied at 33. Field with it at the top of the key. Gives it to Swarak. Catch and shoot. No good this time. Johnson pulls down the board for the Lynx, and we're going back the opposite direction. Johnson with it on the right wing, trying to drive in, loses it, gets it back though. Bounce passes one down low to Powell. Give and go back to Johnson, and he lays it up and in on the right side. So give and go between Powell and Johnson. It works out for the Lynx, and they retake the lead by 2. So Field now going to bring it up the floor here for Governor State as he finds Maple. Maple on the left wing, guarded by Freeman. Has a screen set, doesn't use it. Backs up now with 15 on the shot clock to set up the offense. Freeman is guarding Maple here. Tyler has Swarak as now at the top of the key. Maple trying to drive in out to Swarak. He's wide open for 3. No, can't knock that one down. And now we have a over and back called, I believe, on LJ Johnson this go around. As it is going to go on Johnson. So Johnson is going to pick up an over and back call there. Basically jumped over Alex Preface, who thought it was in the act of shooting. Instead, it was on the floor, so they're going to inbound underneath their own basket with a fresh 30. They throw it into Maple. Maple has guarded by Johnson this time. Now find Brooks, and Brooks picks up his feet and shuffles them a little too quickly here as Trayvon Tyler tells him that that's a no-no. And we're going the other way, a turnover by Governor State, and we'll see what Trayvon Tyler can do. And I know Robbie Brooks trying to get his team started and get things going here in this one, but the one man you don't want to talk any stuff to is Trayvon Tyler. It seems to make him better as time goes on and the more talking that they do, as he bounce passes one down low to Powell. Powell turn around, fader, no good, hits the front of the rim off of Brooks, and it should be with the Lynx. We'll see who it stays with, and it will stay with the Lynx here underneath their own basket. So Latham Jr. set to inbound, finds Johnson back at the top of the key. Johnson thought about a long-range 3. Instead, he's going to set up the offense. Instead, this time he's going to take it from the top of the key, and he knocks it down right there. Swarak with a hand in his face. He's shaking his head, backpedaling down the other end of the floor, shaking his head, knowing I couldn't do much there. Just a good shot there from L.J. Johnson. He's now got 15 here in the first half. Swarak with it, back to Fields. Fields gets a screen from Preface. As he's now on the right wing, he's going to jack one up from way downtown. Long rebound into the hands of Powell. Outlet now to Tyler. Tyler going to split the double team. Goes to Latham Jr. in the right side corner for 3. No, in and out. But Turner has it tipped, and it's still poked around. And it's going to be last touched by Turner out of bounds underneath the Lynx basket. So we're going to go back the other way. But good effort, though, by Turner, trying to fight for that offensive rebound there. Just kind of kept tipping it up in the air a couple times, and finally the third time, so Charmy mistimed his jump and tipped it out of bounds. 38-33 now in favor of the Lynx. 2:15 left to play here in this first half as Maple gets it. He drives left side lane, puts it high off the arc. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. Johnson, a no-look pass to Latham Jr. in the right side corner. This time doesn't take the shot. Over to Tyler. Tyler on the left wing from downtown. No, way too strong as it's pulled down by Maple. Maple now outlet to Fields. Here they come, minute 54. As they got Swarak in the right side corner. He's trying to drive in. Ball's loose on the floor. Prefers picks it up. He's guarded by Powell. He's trying to back down his man on the right side of the paint. He puts up a shot, low post, no good. Brooks with the offensive putback, and he tips it back up and in over Trayvon Tyler. 38-35 now, minute 35 to go. As Tyler knew him and Brooks, we're going to have a battle between these two in this second half. I know Tyler's going to try to do everything he can. Tyler with it now. Minute 30 to play in the first half. 38-35 lead for the Lynx. Tyler on the right wing gets a screen. He has an opening, drives into the lane, kicks out to Turner. Turner in the corner for three. No. Rebounded by Powell, offensive, but he goes right back up with it. And I think Shane Maple is going to be the one to snag that foul right there. So that's going to put Powell back at the line for two opportunities. And that is Maple's first foul, and team's eighth here for the Jaguars. As Powell 1 for 3 so far, make it 2 for 4 as he knocks down his first one right there. And on the floor here for the Lynx, Tyler, Latham Jr., Turner, Powell, and Johnson on the floor. As Powell knocks that one down as well. 2 of 2 from the line. Make it a 5-point lead now in favor of the Lynx. 40-35. Minute 12 left to play here in this first half. Fields with it at the top of the key. Goes to the right wing. Now looking for a lane instead. Hands it off to Maple. Maple from the top of the key. Thought about a three instead. Finds Preppers. Gets it back. Drives in and count the basket and the foul as Shane Maple through contact. And they say the foul was on L.J. Johnson. Johnson not pleased. I don't think he thought that it was him, but he's going to pick up his second here in this one. As Maple's and one opportunity, no good. Powell pulls down the long rebound, and it's 40-37, under a minute to play now. The Lynx with the basketball and the lead as Tyler feeds Powell down low. He turns around, right-hand hook, and no good. Just a tad too strong, but Turner there for the offensive tip-in. As it's 42-37, so the Lynx had their moments in the middle of this first half, kind of struggling, but since then in the last minute trying to kind of extend the lead. But Maple from way downtown just slowly walks it up the floor and knocks it down. 45-37 now. Back to an 8-point game. And 25 seconds left. Shot clock and game clock separated by 2 as Johnson feeds Powell, and Powell slams it home. Another slam sandwich here for Julian Powell. And we have a timeout taken. We'll see who it was taken by. I believe Coach Lepp took a timeout here with 15 seconds left. It's a 41-40 game. I think they put the basket. Okay. 41-40 game here in this one. They do say 20 seconds now, not. So they're changing the clock on us all a whole bunch of different ways. The Lynx have I thought it was an 8-point game, and then all of a sudden I look back up and it was a 1-point game. 41-40. Kind of interesting here. I think they put the slam on the wrong side. So now we have another clock issue. So we've seen this happen twice already. Both away games we saw where they didn't add. We've had some scoreboard issues. So it is 44-40. I believe that is correct. 20 seconds left. 44-40. Jaguars will have the last possession here unless they do make it. Shot clock turned off. Maple with it. A little 2-3 zone action here by this Lynx squad as he's going to pull up from way downtown yet again. This time it's short off the front of the rim and out. Rebounded by Powell. Outlet now to Powell. Gives it back to Latham Jr. and he puts it up as the shot clock expires. And no, he could not hit as it hits the front of the rim and doesn't fall for him. Again, crazy turn of events there in the last final seconds as Maple pulls up a long three, hits the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Powell, somehow ends up with Turner's hands. He's trying to baseball pass one to Tyler, who was running the floor to get a quick bucket, could not. Stolen back away by the Jaguars, and then again stolen back by Powell, and he somehow finds Latham Jr. and he tries to take a long three at the end of the buzzer, but he could not hit. But that's going to do it here at the end of the first half. The Lynx looked like they played very well here in this one, but Governor State with the long threes keeping them in it here so far. We will have stats coming your way shortly, but again, 44-40 as we head to halftime here in this one. We'll have more stats and analysis when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Your Lynx lead at halftime as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
I didn't want to talk. She just sat with me. That was all I really needed.
We got back, and of course we went to different cities. One day he called me out of the blue, and it's comforting to know that I always can count on him to have my back.
Well, we hadn't talked for a while, and then she texted me, and we went for a walk.
She called me from time to time. I really didn't think I needed any help.
I was away from my family during the holidays, and a friend invited me to their house for dinner. It really meant a lot.
He knew I was having a rough week, so he asked me to go fishing with him.
My friend knew that I didn't want to go out, so she brought me dinner instead.
It took me from being really depressed to feeling like somebody cared. It gave me some hope. Just that one text.
Be there. Your call, your presence, your words, your support. Be there and help save a life. Learn more about preventing suicide at veteranscrisisline.net.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff. But still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff, even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the 89X Halftime Show. My name is Elijah Cox, and I'm joined with Dr. Denise LaGrassa, the lead faculty of the Contemporary Jazz program here at Lincoln College. Welcome.
Hello, Elijah. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do here at Lincoln College?
Well, what I do is try to ensure that we have the most outstanding music program that teaches students how to create their own works, to perform their own works, to work on the foundations of jazz music, which is our American music, to learn the repertoire of the giants of jazz, while also thinking creatively about how to bring jazz into the future. It's unfortunate, but on many levels in this country today, it is a shame that we have this wonderful American music, this wonderful American, uniquely American art form, the only American art form, really, music, jazz music, which is not, I would say, more relevant, more in the public eye. So what I'm trying to do as a way to bring quality music into the commercial music of the future and the pop genre music of the future is to really teach students how they can really use the foundations of jazz music as a springboard to create commercial music that has all of the wonderful ingredients that jazz has in its historical context of how it became mixed with classical music, mixed with dance, mixed with theater in its evolution as an improvisational art form. So, and how you can do that in this 20th century is by looking at how we present music today in the pop genre, certainly. When you go to a big rock concert, what do you see? You see images on stage. You see media on stage, correct? We see dance. You see a show. You see a theatrical experience. So a way of making jazz relevant today is to bring that very much the pop formula of how and what you see on stage as an entertainment art form and merge it with this high quality music that is jazz music and intertwine original voices of the students today with the foundational jazz.
Okay. And I know that you like to give lots of opportunities to your students to kind of write and produce their own music.
Encourage them.
Do you feel that helps them moving forward into the professional world as well, giving them this extra opportunity that they may not have in another school or university?
Right, so they can learn how to be entrepreneurs on this level so that they can take that entrepreneurial mindset to wherever they wind up, whether it's working for a production company, whether it's working in the live performance world, if you're going on tour as a sound engineer, or if you're going on tour to actually perform. How you think about, we just had Montana 300 here, just talking with Eric Nelson today about how Montana has to bring this visual element into his shows, right? To then be look more like a headliner, right? So maybe our students end up working with professional artists and maybe creating Logic Pro music for them, or maybe creating visual media for them, okay? Or they're making their own websites. They need to learn how to market themselves. So if they create some film and video here, right, and they put it on their website, or they make their original music here and have the high quality 3-time Grammy nominee producer, Eric Nelson, helping them and guide them to their original music coming to the then websites and social media stages, then they're starting to get the word out with this high quality program that we have here as a tool for them to then march out into the 21st century world and become successful.
Now, I noticed that you mentioned Eric's credentials.
Eric Nelson.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your own?
My own. Oh, don't add. Well, first of all, Eric Nelson owns Eclipse Studios in Bloomington, Illinois, and he has been in business since the early 90s. He actually used to teach at Lincoln College back in the early 90s, and so now he's back here. And so I just want to mention that because now we have these Logic Pro pieces that some of the students have written, which will appear in our next show, Off the Grid. So I'm very excited about that. So they have that. Again, they're merging the jazz music, the foundations of jazz as an art form, as a compositional art form, as an improvisational art form. They're merging that with technology style music today. And we're going to continue doing that. And this is one way of doing jazz, right? They're all going to have different ways of doing it. But then to get them to think creatively of how you create show, how you create entertainment, they're going to have other ideas. And I want to encourage them to develop their own unique pieces, as you have done in this show, right? You're going to have more ideas. They're all going to have more ideas. But my purpose is to help them craft and become the entrepreneurs and to take their visions and their creativities and take them to the big stage, or the small stages.
You just listened to the 89X halftime show. My name is Elijah Cox, and I was joined by Dr. Denise LaGrassa.
You're going to edit this, right? No.
Maybe a little
bit. Please do. All right. Thank you for having me, Elijah.
Thank you for being
Pleasure.
here.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi. I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
Well, before I left my campsite, I was putting out my fire, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear showed up and hugged me?
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. He likes it when people correctly put out their campfires. He's pretty big on wildfire prevention. He's just letting you know you did good. With a hug. He's a hugger.
I just got a bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
All right, I'm going to let you go now. I've got a lot of ranger stuff to do. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service Ad Council and your state forester.
Attention men under the age of 35. You know what really impresses the ladies? When a guy has a few drinks and later gets pulled over for buzz driving. That could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. There goes let's grab dinner and a movie. Oh, I know. You drive more carefully when you're buzzed. You've proven that hundreds of times. A woman admires that kind of confidence. And you've practiced how to speak if a cop does pull you over. Slowly, clearly, and politely like, "Good evening, officer." A woman admires that kind of foresight. And what woman doesn't find it adorable that you call it buzzed even though the law calls it drunk? You could kiss $10,000 goodbye, along with any chance of having a girlfriend. Because nothing says, "I'm a catch," more than a guy who lives in his parents' basement and calls it my place.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
150 years of helping students maximize their potential, 18 intercollegiate athletic programs, and a student-faculty ratio of 15-1. It all adds up to an amazing college experience. Where? Lincoln College, of course. Want an associate's degree? Lincoln College offers those. Decide you want a bachelor's? Lincoln College has those too. From business management to vocal performance and so much more. Don't overlook the opportunity that is Lincoln College. For more info or to apply online, visit lincolncollege.edu today.
We're back here at Governor's State where we have ourselves a good one, ladies and gentlemen, here in this one, as it was all Lincoln really kind of cruising through the first 10 minutes or so of this ball game. It was Lincoln out in front early. They were up by as many as 12-13, I believe. Let's see what the stat sheet tells us here. Actually, it doesn't, so that's ironically enough. It doesn't have it at the bottom. However, though, I do know for a fact the Lynx were up by 12 at one point. That is a true fact. However, we do have a 4-point game here about 4 minutes to go before we get set to go in this second half. But it's 44-40 in favor of your Lynx here in this one. And right before we got on the air, I have to say, before we get into these stat sheets and stuff like that, you know, I'm all about sportsmanship, and you know how things go. People, they talk back and forth on the court, and yeah, it's part of the game. However, though, Governor's State, when they came back out of the locker room, they were the first ones out of the locker room. You know, what do you call I'm trying to think of the name of it here real quick, but the sheet where you step on it and it makes your shoes a little bit more stickier. Whatever that is, I can't think of the name of it right now. I know it's sad, but however, whatever that is called, Governor's State, they tore off the old piece, and then every single one of their players stepped on our thing across the floor and kind of made their shoes sticky, I guess. I know what it's for, but usually both teams have their own. You don't use each other's. I mean, I believe Adam and I had this conversation the other day, a couple of weeks ago, when Indiana Northwest came in and they played. That one kid stepped on and went over when he checked back in and stepped on the little thing to get their shoes, you know, sticky. But just interesting. You can see that I can't really hear much. There's not much chirping, I don't think, going on here in this ball game. But you know it's a big game because of the fact that, you know, David Anderson, Jamal Murray, all those guys they went and played at Lincoln. I mean, they were recruited by Coach Lepp. And, I mean, Lepp's actually talking to Jamal Murray right now. But, again, I mean, these guys, they know us well. They know Lepp's scheme. You knew they were going to come back in this ball game, and so far they have. And it's really kind of thanks to the three ball there for Governor State. I mean, Governor State right now shooting 63% from behind the arc. They have 7 for 11 so far here in this one, and really it's by number 5, Shane Maple. I mean, he's got 5 of the 6. He's made 5 of 6 threes. He's got 5 of the 7. I mean, he's got 18 points. He's leading the way right here for Governor State. He's the leading scorer for them. The next closest is Robbie Brooks and Justin Sorak. They both have 8 points. But for your Lynx, however, though, in this one, we got a few guys in double figures here. LJ Johnson has 17 in the half, going 6 of 11 from the field, 3 of 4 from behind the arc. In that one, 2 for 2 from the free throw line as well. Also has pulled down 5 boards to go along with those 17 points. Very well could see maybe a double-double for LJ Johnson. And then Julian Powell, also, he's got 13 on the night here in the first half in just 17 minutes of work. He went 5 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Again, didn't take any chances from behind the arc. So, again, with that being said, the Lynx lead here, getting about a minute or so away from the second half, 44-40 is our score. One good thing, though, looking at the stat sheet, the Lynx are out-rebounding Governor State right now, 23-19 on the glass, and that's something that they were not able to do in the win against St. Francis, and really kind of been their main struggle all season long. If they can out-rebound teams, this is a very dominant, very physical, very athletic Lynx team, and we've talked about it all year long, where they could easily be 13-2, maybe 14-1 if they could have possibly played like this at the beginning of the year. That's why that's why we play those beginning games. That's why we have so many of them, to kind of test it out, kind of see where we're at. Just like right now for Governor State, this is their first game back from Christmas break. And still on Christmas break, but since December 17th. So, these guys are out there ready to go. Julian Powell and the rest of this Lynx squad, they're ready to go as well. Again, it will be Jaguar basketball here to start this second half. Starting five out on the floor here. Same for both squads. Tyler, Johnson, Crumble, Powell, and Latham Jr. As Governor State feeds Maple down low. Turnaround right-hand hook, no good. Powell with an offensive rebound, put back, no. But Powell pulls down the board here for the Lynx. So the Lynx will have the first possession coming back the other way. Johnson now with it. He loses control of it. Ball's loose on the floor. Somehow finds Tyler. Tyler on the left wing trying to drive baseline. Fakes it. Miss. Goes to the corner now for Latham Jr. Latham back out to Tyler on the right wing. 11 seconds now on the shot clock. Tyler guarded by Brooks. He takes a step back. Thought about it. Instead now trying to drive in right side lane. Blocked though by Brooks. Looked like he was stepped on the baseline. Instead Anderson finds it, and the Jaguars going back the opposite direction. Maple picks up his dribble, hands it back to Anderson, back to Maple. He sets a screen on the right wing. Maple to Anderson at the top of the key. Thought about a three. Instead, now trying to drive into the lane. Puts one up off the glass. Can't get it to go. Looked like a foul on Powell, but nothing was called. Outlet now from Johnson to Tyler. Baseball pass to Latham Jr. in the left corner. He drives baseline, trying to kick it out to Powell, but instead somehow finds Johnson. Johnson trying to lob one up for Powell, but he wasn't ready for it, and it's stolen away, and the Jaguars going back the other end. As not a good ball movement there by the Lynx team, kind of getting a little too cute there on that possession. 44-40, 18 and a half minutes left to play. Maple with the basketball here for the Jaguars. He's on the right wing, guarded by Crumble. Give and go with Anderson. Across the court pass now to Swarak. One more pass to Boatwright, who takes the three from the corner. No good. Anderson pulls down the offensive board here for the Jaguars. Back out to Maple. Maple to Swarak from the left wing, and this time he knocks it down as Swarak hits the long-range three, and it's back to a one-point game, 44-43, now in favor of the Lynx, looking for their first basket here in the second half. Tyler brings it slowly up the floor as he finds Crumble. Crumble on the left wing. Now to the top of the key, hands it off to Tyler. Tyler looking for Powell underneath. Anderson was there, though. 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. Crumble with it on the right wing. He drives right side lane, puts it up off the glass, cannot get it to go. Wanted a foul, doesn't get it as Anderson pulls down the board. Outlet now to Boatwright, who lays it up and in for the easy two. 45-44 now as Governor State back in front. And really kind of been one of their first times leading the ball game since, I think since it was 2-0. As Latham Jr. now with it on the right wing. He's guarded by Boatwright. Back to the top of the key for Tyler. Swinging it around the perimeter for Johnson. Johnson with it on the left wing. Guarded by Brooks. 10 seconds on the shot clock now. Going to have to make something magical happen here. Gets a double screen, trying to drive into the lane. Puts up a floater. Somehow does not get it to go. Anderson pulls down the board. And here come the Jaguars in transition. Maple now with it, trying to drive back down Latham Jr. And he does with the floater. And he knocks it down. 47-44 as they outlet to Tyler. Tyler with nobody home knocks down the three from the right wing. And it's tied yet again. 47-47. Just under 17 minutes left to play here in this one, and the Lynx a little slow coming out of halftime. Again, but look for them to kind of get things going here in this one. Another big thing that I've seen on the stat sheet, again, the Lynx leading the turnover battle as well. They have made Governor State force 12 turnovers so far in that first half, and the Lynx only had 6 turnovers in that first half as well. But one thing both teams are doing particularly well is the ball movement. Lynx had 7 assists in that first half there in that one. Again, Johnson, Crumble, and Tyler all had 2 apiece in the assist category there as well. And steals as well being being pretty picky. Lynx leading in steals as well, 4-0 in that category. Again, 2 coming by L.J. Johnson as well, 1 by Tyler and then 1 by Turner as well. 47-47, 17 minutes left to play here in a barn burner. I think it's going to be like this the rest of the way. Maple brings it up the floor here as he's going to go right off the dribble and catch and shoot. No good. Johnson pulls down the board here in this one. Johnson double teams. Somehow now finds Tyler. Going to have to push the pace here as they have a 5-on-3 fast break. Crumble now. Bounce passes one as it's stolen away there by Boatwright. He saves it from going out of bounds. Now as Tyler gives it back, I almost had to catch Boatwright there for a second. So he came flying in right towards me here, but now we have the official stopping the clock, as I believe it must have been a shot clock. They do say a fresh 30 here for the Lynx, as it must have hit the rim. 47-47 here in this one. Latham Jr. set to inbound. They find Tyler. Tyler just inside the three-point line. He's going to knock down the jumper right there from the right side corner, or the left corner. And it's a 2-point lead now yet again for the Lynx. 49-47. Maple going to bring it up the floor here for the Jaguars. Same starting 5 still out on the floor. Maple drives into the lane, kicks it out to Swarak in the corner for 3, and he knocks it down from the left wing. So Swarak gives the Jaguars back the lead as it's 50-49 now. Johnson bringing it up the floor here for the Lynx. Tyler now with it. Gives it and go to Latham Jr. He's going to drive into the lane. He puts it up off the glass and gets over David Anderson. And it's 51-50 as the Lynx retake the lead. Montez Crumble now going to guard Shane Maple, who looks like Montez. He's just got that look in his eye like he's going to come up with a steal here sometime soon. He's kind of got that second half mentality as they feed Anderson. Anderson spin moves to the left. Up and under move, no good. Offensive rebound as the ball's loose on the floor. Powell and Boatwright. And now we have a jump ball as David Anderson piles on the dog pile. But Julian Powell comes out with the basketball. It is a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Jaguars. It should be in favor of the Lynx. I thought that the first jump ball, the Jaguars had the basketball to start the half. The scoreboard says Lynx, and finally it took all 3 officials to get it right, but you'd rather have them get it right than anything. As I don't think they have a little possession thing on the scores table there, but it is the right call. 51-50 here in this one. The Lynx will have the basketball coming back the other way. Tyler now with it on the left wing. He's guarded by Maple. He's give and go, kind of getting fancy with it, trying to kick it back out to Latham Jr. He does. Boatwright was almost there for a steal. Instead, Latham Jr. now going to drive in left side lane through contact. No. Gets his own miss. Put back. This time, no. But he is going to be rewarded with a foul this go around. So Latham Jr. going to go to the line. And they're going to put that one on Boatwright. So that's going to be his third, team's first here in the half. And Latham Jr. at the line for 2. Jr. knocks down his first one right there. And Latham, so far in this one, basically the best, if not, he is the best free throw shooter that this Lynx team has. Comes in at 75% on the season. Actually, Powell is 2 points higher, so he's second best. But either way, knocks down a pair right there, 53-50. Now with 15 minutes left to play in this one. Governor State with the basketball. Maple now with it. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Standing around midcourt. Him and Brooks just kind of playing some catch back and forth. Brooks with it at the top of the key now. Give and go with Maple. He got it down low, left side paint, and he knocks it down. A little floater inside the paint right there, and it's back to a 1-point game. 53-52 now. Johnson with it. He's going to take a contested jumper, no good. Anderson pulls down the board. So Johnson could not hit right there after having a good start in the first half. Sorak now with it here for the Jaguars. He goes to the right wing for, looks like Preflis, but Tyler was there, but he couldn't corral it. Almost was a steal for the Lynx as now Brooks down low, turnaround right-hand hook, no good from the left side of the paint, low post, as Crumble pulls down the board. Now finds Latham Jr. double teamed in the corner, and he has it batted out of bounds by the Jaguars, so it'll stay with the Lynx here on their side of the floor. Here comes J.J. Turner into the ball game as he gets Montez Crumble. And Turner also had a pretty good first half. He had 6 points to go in that first half, along with 2 rebounds. as he finally get it into Tyler. Tyler now with it. 18 seconds on the shot clock. He's guarded by Maple. Here comes Powell to set a screen. He goes to the left side of it. Takes a long-range three from the top of the key. High bounce. No good by Tyler as it's rebounded by the Jaguars. Here they come now back the opposite direction. Johnson with it for the Jaguars. Hands it off to Maple. Maple on the left wing. Here's the screen. He's at the top of the key, picks up his dribble, throws it right into the hands of Johnson. Johnson overthrows his man to find Tyler, and Tyler's just going to lay it up and in as Schwarak was beaten down on him real quick here in this one. Now Tyler going to play a little one-on-one self-defense here in this one as he almost came up with a steal, and Johnson ends up with it. Johnson now going to drive in, gives it down low to Tyler. Give and go, and those two in the backcourt. Once again, Trayvon Tyler making things happen here for the Lynx as he gets the bucket on the other end, and then playing some tough defense here right up on Shane Maple. There was a timeout taken here by Tony Bates for the Jaguars. Maple is still over talking to the official, saying, hey, are you ever going to call a foul? That was his words, not mine. But the official's like, hey, man, it's a timeout. Why don't you just go to the bench over there, and we'll sort this out later. Again, however, I see the point. The Jaguars are very frustrated here in this one, not getting a lot of calls going their way, but really not getting a lot of calls anywhere here. We only have one foul called in the first 7 minutes of this ball game so far as your Lynx lead by 5, 57-52. But again, this has really kind of been the Lynx game to lose. Again, you've seen Johnson. Johnson so far has still at 15, but looks like Powell as well. He's at 15 too, followed by Trayvon Tyler. Tyler only had, not used to seeing him with only 2 points out of halftime, but since then he's gotten 9 to go as he's now at 11. So 3 Lynx in double figures here so far. Still have 13 and a half minutes to go, so we'll see if that could possibly change as well. And Latham's at 7. He's 1-3 away from double figures. Could also see maybe J.J. Turner as well possibly get to the double-digit mark as he's got 6 so far here in this one. Look for him to kind of have a big second half as well. Here now Grant Johnson coming out of the timeout for the Jaguars. Finds Maple. Maple catch and shoot from the top of the key, and he knocks it down as Shane Maple, he's not one to get things started with either. Him and Trayvon Tyler now going to go back and forth. We saw these two when Tyler and Maple played back in the NJCAA. Tyler with the Lynx still as Johnson drives in the right side lane and puts a shot up, and this time is going to be fouled hard as, again, Johnson was right there. He's going to pick up a foul for him. Johnson on Johnson, I should say. So Johnson's going to pick up his first, team's second, as LJ Johnson is going to go to the line for 2 opportunities. Nothing but net there for number 0 as he knocks down the first one right there. 58-55 now in favor of the Lynx. Johnson has one more coming. Johnson, 72% free throw shooter. Hits the second one as well as he's perfect on the 9. That percentage is just going to keep going up. 4 for 4 from the line here for LJ Johnson. 59-55. 12 and a half minutes left to play. Maple with it at the top of the key. The Lynx move into a 2-3 zone here on defense. Anderson now with it for the Jaguars in the right side corner to Brooks. Brooks at the top of the key. Thought about a 3 instead. Trying to drive in, but Tyler's right there. Maple give and go. He's double teamed. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Down low to Anderson. Here comes the double and the help to Swarak. He's going to take a long 3. It's going to be blocked, though, by Johnson into the hands of Anderson. Anderson puts up a shot. It does not hit the rim, and it's going to be a shot clock violation there, and some great defense by this Lynx team yet again, and it starts with the confusion by switching to the 2-3 zone. As Darnell Latham Jr. catch and shoot from the corner, no good. Wasn't even paying attention there as that pass came from Tyler right away. Cannot hit the long 3 as here come the Jaguars back the opposite direction. 59-55, Maple with it. He's guarded very closely by Latham Jr. He picks up his dribble now trying to feed Anderson. He does. Give it right back to him. Now back, bounce passes it to Anderson. Anderson with the mid-range jumper. No good from the baseline. Turner pulls down the board. Bounce passes one to Johnson. Johnson now going to bring it up the floor. Trying to find some contact. He does. Gives it back to Turner at the top of the key. Turner trying to drive in the lane. Kicks it back out to Johnson on the right wing. Back to Tyler, and they're going to set up this offense here for the Lynx. Tyler with it on the left wing now. trying to splits his double team, trying to drive into the paint instead, backs it out. Now on the right wing, takes the long three and knocks it down because nobody was home as he kind of dribbled into the paint, made everyone kind of crash towards him, and then bounced it back out, kind of like he was going to look for a pass, and then stopped catch and shoot as Maple trying to answer. He cannot as Powell pulls down the board. Powell going to run the point here for the Lynx, and not the greatest of a ball handler, but he's got some skills for a big man. As Johnson now with it over to Latham. Latham somehow stays with the dribble and gets it back out to Tyler as he was double teamed by Brooks and Maple. Now Tyler from way downtown, and he knocks it through. Trayvon Tyler from Lincoln, Illinois, seemed like that far away as he knocks it down, and it's a 10-point lead now for the Lynx as it's another timeout taken here by the Jaguars. 65-55 thanks to number 2 in Trayvon Tyler. And Tyler had 2 points so far going into this half. Now has 15 so far in just 9 minutes. We're used to seeing this out of Trayvon Tyler. We saw him in the Missouri S&T game go for 19 points in just over probably, I think it was about 4.5, 5 minutes. So he's capable of scoring when he needs to, especially as well, even also as well, Darnell Latham Jr., look for him. If he can get things going, he's going to have a spark as well. He's got a deadly shot, and those two put together. And then, oh, by the way, you just add L.J. Johnson as your 3, whichever one you want to put as your 3. He can be deadly as 2. So you got 3 deadly shooters on the floor at all times, at least 2, depending on which one is on the bench due to foul trouble or something like that. But 3 shooters so far, deadly shooters that this team can kind of go to and kind of lean on if they have such like a typical so-called bad game where, like, my perfect example is when Trayvon Tyler was suspended and we kind of needed to rely on Darnell Latham Jr. a little bit more, L.J. Johnson a little bit more, Julian Powell a little bit more. I mean, it just, when you see games like this, when you see Johnson have 17, when you see Powell have 15, when you see Tyler have 17, that's normal for him, though. But again, when he has help that steps up, this is a team that doesn't only win by 2 or 3. This is a team that wins by like 15 to 20, as they are a very good NAIA team, as Preference takes the mid-range jumper and knocks it down from the free throw line right off the timeout, as it's 65-57 now. 10:45 left to play. Johnson running the point here as he tries to drive in, kicks it back out, but he's going to be called for a traveling violation right there, as he did just kind of shuffle his feet just a tad, as it's going to be a turnover there by Johnson, and the Lynx going back the opposite direction. 65-57. Governor State with the basketball. Look for Shane Maple to have a say in this outcome in these next 10 minutes before this game's over. See, bounce passes one to Anderson on the right wing. He's trying to back down Powell. He takes a contested jumper. No good. I think he wanted a foul and nowhere close, as he was just outside the free throw line. Rebounded by Turner. Now to Tyler. Tyler started by Maple. Now you know these two are going to have it going back and forth at it. We saw it already. Tyler give and go to Johnson. Johnson from the left wing takes one step in, takes the jumper, and knocks it down right there. A long 2 from L.J. Johnson just inside the three-point line as they try to throw it to Maple. Maple wasn't almost paying attention, as now he drives in, goes coast to coast, puts up a shot, and we're going to have an offensive foul going against Shane Maple as he ran right in, and J.J. Turner just stepped right across and took the charge. So Turner and Crumble both giving up their body here in this one, and it works out. Maple picks up his second foul, team's third here in the half. 9:45 remaining, Lynx with a 10-point lead. Powell give and go, bounce pass, and to Latham Jr. Count the basket and the foul, as Latham Jr. and Julian Powell kind of have some sort of connection there. So Latham Jr. going to go to the line for an and one opportunity here in this one. And Latham deadly from the free throw line as well. As he knocks down that one right there. And you got to give Trayvon Tyler some credit. Sterling Fields checked in, and he's probably, I don't know, Sterling, what would you say? Sterling Fields is probably like 5'4", maybe 5'3", and he comes in and he's standing down there, and he said, "Hey, who's got little bro?" Down there as Brooks takes the jumper from the baseline, no good. Gets his own miss, to blocked though by Powell, and then saved from out of bounds by Trayvon Tyler, but his foot was on the line I could see it from right here, sitting right on the sideline. So it'll give the ball right back to this Jaguar team. But Trayvon Tyler, he's starting to find it here in this second half. And that's the last person that the Governor State wants to have find their game in this one. And now we have I believe a timeout taken. I do have a timeout taken. Both officials were just standing over there and didn't really call one way or the other, but it is a timeout taken, a 30-second timeout, because they could not get the ball in bounds. They're on the far side here, and I'm trying to look through the Lynx bench and then everybody else. So I do apologize for some of those being a little bit hesitating, but again, it is a timeout by Tony Bates, and again, he can't have too many more remaining here in this one, as they don't have the timeouts taken on the scoreboard here. And it's this Lynx, a rough second half, kind of last couple minutes really starting to find it here in this one. And like I said, when you see the ball movement that these guys are doing like this, where you're seeing Julian Powell from the top, just inside the top of the key, bounce passing one to Latham Jr., who's cutting to the basket. I mean, we wouldn't have saw that at the beginning of this entire season. Julian Powell didn't want to be aggressive. He didn't want to make those type of passes. He wasn't an assist person. But now all of a sudden, Julian Powell kind of becoming an assist man as Fields takes a long three. No good. Rebounded by Tyler. And here they come back in transition. Tyler to Latham Jr. He's all alone on the wing for three, and he knocks it down. Latham Jr. now in double figures here for the Lynx as he's got 13. Here comes Fields now back the other way, 73-57. It's been on a run. Here now Tyler blocked Shane Maple as he went for the 10-foot jumper from the baseline there. And it's almost like now Trayvon Tyler, you might as well just give him one block per game, as he's not the tallest, but he definitely can jump out of this gym, and he showed it right there. And now we have a stoppage for the officials. Trayvon Tyler has his hands up. They're talking with Tyler and Maple here in this one. The official has to get off the floor at some point as they throw it into Brooks. Brooks catch and shoot, turn around right hand, and that one falls over Julian Powell. Just a step ahead as Tyler going to inbound it. They throw it into Johnson. He's double teamed, trying to find somebody, and he splits the double team. Bounce passes one to Latham Jr. Jr. now give and go with Turner. Turner trying to drive into the lane, and he puts it up off the glass. Nice touch there from Turner as he goes right around David Anderson, his former teammate and probably best friend, as it's 75-59 now in favor of the Lynx. Maple with it now on the right wing, down low to Anderson. He turns, drives baseline. Denied, though, met at the rim by Powell, but they call a foul going against Julian Powell. And Anderson kind of gave him a little shove with the shoulder there at the end, but you got to love it. So Anderson at the line for two opportunities as Powell picked up his first foul of the ball game. And Anderson, about a 70% free throw shooter when he was at Lincoln. Right now, just shooting around, let's see here, have about 73% from the free throw line is David Anderson for Governor State. So he's right around the same as he was for Lincoln. And second one in as well. So 2 of 2 from the line goes David Anderson. Is it 75-61 now? Is that one into the hands of Turner? Turner trying to drive in, up and under move as he saw Anderson was coming. Offensive rebound, though, by Powell, and he can't corral it. Anderson might have had a tipped on that one, but Governor State pulls down the rebound. Maple now with it at the top of the key, driving in, and dishes it off to Anderson down low. Blocked, though, by Anthony Bogan behind, and now somebody stepped out of bounds, so it'll stay with Governor State underneath their own basket. But Anthony Bogan, who just checked into the ballgame, came out of nowhere and said hello to David Anderson as he blocked that one. 75-61 now as they throw it into Brooks underneath their own basket. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Brooks now trying to drive in, drives baseline, puts it up off the glass, and gets it to go. 75-63, back to a 12-point game now. And this is kind of what Governor State did. They just slowly but surely crawled their way back into it as Latham Jr. now guarded by Brooks, thought about a three, sized up his man, instead kicks it back out to Montez Crummell. He picks up his dribble at the top of the key, out to Turner. Turner with the walk there in that one and took one too many steps. Otherwise, either way, he didn't make the three anyway. It's going to give the ball back to the Jaguars here in this one. Latham Jr. comes out. Trayvon Tyler quick to check back in as 75-61 63, 7.5 minutes left to play here in the second half as they find Brooks in the right side corner. He drives in, met though by Powell at the rim. Ball still tipped around in the air. Ball's loose on the floor. Anderson picks it up, trying to kick it back out as Crumble stole it away. Ball's loose on the floor yet again. Anderson falls on it. Crumble now kicks it back out to Brooks. Brooks somehow with it over to Schwarak at the top of the key for three. Makes his man miss. Takes the long three. No good. Long rebound by Maple. He saves it from going out of bounds, but I think he did step out on the baseline. So a crazy turn of events right there. It went from Maple driving into the lane to feeding Anderson. Anderson couldn't finish down low. Ball was loose on the floor. Anderson and Power both fighting for it. Crumble steals it back after, out of Anderson's hands, and then somehow, some way, ends up into the hands of Turner. As now Tyler going coast to coast, lays it up and in for the easy two. And now Coach Lepp going to call a full timeout, taking him right here in this one, as you just saw Trayvon Tyler come back into the ballgame and already goes coast to coast. And I can hear Tony Bates from way over here across the gym. He's not happy with the way his team's playing as of right now. Again, but this is a Lynx team for the majority of the season. Like I said, we went 5-1 in the month of December. Lynx trying to start off the new year right here in this one. But again, just looking around the gym here, Governor State, they're in the Chicagoland Conference for basketball, and they have the banners up of all the teams here from their conference. And if you look around, I mean, we've played St. Francis. We played Olivet Nazarene. We're going to play St. Ambrose. We've already played Cardinal Stretch. I believe we have to play Roosevelt as well. St. Xavier, we've played them, and Robert Morris. I mean, these are the team. This was a team in the Chicagoland Conference. Like I said, they were last year's conference and tournament champions. They were like 18-2. So this is a good Governor State team. I know that their record doesn't show it so far this season, 7-9 on the year. But like I said, they didn't lose anybody, and they got a lot of help. Anderson stayed. They got Shane Maple. They lost Jamal Murray. But other than that, I mean, this is a very deep team here for this Lynx, or for the Jaguars. And this Lynx team, they showed they're about equal in the first half, but the Lynx showing that they're the better team here in the second, as Fields will have it coming out of the timeout. Finds Schwarak from way downtown, no good. Turner and Anderson both go up for the rebound as it's tipped out of bounds by Turner, so it'll stay with the Jaguars. Again, if you look, I know we lost Olivet early in the season as they throw it in to Fields. Fields now trying to drive in right side lane, up and under move, and that one goes for the Jaguars. So 12-point game now, 77-65, 6.5 minutes to play. Lynx with the lead and the basketball. As Tyler now to Bogan. Bogan down low to Powell. He's working on Anderson. Trying to back his man down. He kicks it back out to Bogan. Bogan from three from the wing. No, too strong. Rebounded by Sorak here in this one. Jaguars coming back the other way. Maple bounce passes one to Brooks. Brooks trying to drive baseline. He's met by Crumble as that one's tipped out of bounds by Tyler. So it'll stay with the Jaguars here underneath their own basket with 22 seconds on the shot clock. But back to what I was saying about this conference. I mean, this is one of the best teams in the conference. We've seen the best team in the conference. And right now, a lot of teams from this conference cannot hang with us right now. If this is a conference that we go to, is that one inbounded to Maple but stolen away by Crumble, but he was on the out-of-bounds line, so they'll inbound yet again underneath their own basket. But again, this is a Lynx team that could very possibly match up very nicely here in the Chicagoland Conference as they inbound it to Maple. Maple on the baseline trying to back down Tyler. He does. Throws up a shot. He wanted a foul. It could look like one. Didn't get one. Maple still standing down there. Wanted a foul. He didn't get it. And this Jaguars team frustrated here today. And the Lynx just running all over him. As Turner now with it. Trying to drive in. Kicks it out to Bogan in the corner for three. This time he's not going to miss. As L.A. Bogan on the board from the left corner, as it's 80-65 now with 5.5 minutes to play. And if the Lynx can just play some good defense here, I'd have to say this one's all but over unless Maple has a run in him. But he finds Fields in the corner. No. Gets his own offensive rebound, though, is Maple. Kicks it back out to Swarak. Swarak was lights out from the corner. Instead goes to the right side corner for Brooks. Brooks from way downtown, and he's lights out as well as he knocks it down. Brooks earlier in practice I think he made about 7 or 8 in a row, standing right in front of me as he made that one right there from the corner. As now we have a foul going against Brooks as he is basically holding Trayvon Tyler here in this one, and they do call it. Only his third, but team's fifth here in this one, as Latham Jr. and L.J. Johnson check back in for Crumble and Bogan. And kind of, well, we're waiting for the shot clock to go down 1 second, I believe. Stopped at 24. There we go. Now we're at 23. Best basketball number around if you ask anybody in Central Illinois who love the Bulls, as they throw it into Tyler. Tyler trying to save it or take a three. He cannot. It was an air ball, but Powell saves it from going out of bounds. As Tyler now with it, back to Johnson. Johnson thought about three, give and go with Powell, and he slams it home as he doesn't hang on the rim too long, but he definitely hung up there on long enough to send a message. That's his fourth slam sandwich of the game, and this Lynx team running all over this Governor State Jaguars team here in the second half. 82-68 as they feed Anderson down low. He's going to power move. He wants to show that he's capable of it as well, and he goes right through contact and lays it up and in for the easy two. Man, just think if you had Anderson and Powell as your 4 and 5 here for this Lynx team. Never know what could have happened if the outcome had David Anderson stayed, but we were not a 4-year university yet at that time. I heard talks that he might have stayed had we been a 4-year university. Powell now with it, trying to drive baseline, and Anderson steps in there and takes the charge. He shuffled it and moved his feet well that time as he gets up quickly and hustles right back down the other end of the floor to get in the face, not really in the face of Julian Powell, but it's kind of, hey man, I got you on that one. Those two are kind of going back and forth. They're laughing about it. Could have been former teammates as Fields with it now in the corner. He takes a three and knocks it down on the assist by Maple. 82-73 now. All of a sudden, it's back to a single-digit ball game here in this one. 82-73. Johnson finds Turner at the top of the key. Back to Johnson. Johnson gives it down low to Tyler. Tyler trying to back down Fields here in this one. He spins. Instead has to kick it out to Latham. Latham from the top of the key for three. No. Off the rim and out. Rebounded by David Anderson. 3:45 left to play. 82-73. And Maple has the basketball. Look for him to spot up at any time. He's going to be the man that gets these guys back into it as he bounce passes one down low to Brooks. Brooks guarded by Latham Jr. He's backing him down. Turn around, right hand hook, and that goes over Latham Jr. as Brooks inside has a nice soft touch. 82-75 now. 3:20 left to play. The Lynx going to need a spark of offense here. Johnson, Powell, Turner, Tyler, and Latham Jr. as Powell has it standing at the top of the post. He gets it back to Johnson. Johnson takes a step back jumper. No good. Lynx have kind of gone cold as the outlet now from Maple to Fields to Swarak, who was running the floor, and he lays it up and in. If you're Coach Leb, this could be a possible timeout opportunity. 82-77 now, under 3 minutes to play. And this crowd was not in it just a few moments ago, but now whoever here, they're chanting defense, trying to get their Jaguars back in this ball game. We've seen them come back in the first half. They're trying to do it again. 82-77, 10 seconds on the shot clock. The Lynx now going to run the clock all the way down as much as they can, and they're going to get bailed out as Tyler takes a step back three. Somehow nailed it, but it is going to be a foul on the floor as Fields reached in there on Tyler in team 6, so one more, and the Lynx will be in the bonus. 82-77 now. Latham Jr. going to inbound right in front of Coach Leb. So they inbound it to Johnson. Johnson now over to Tyler on the left wing. This time he's going to catch a shoot from downtown. No good. Rebounded by Swarak here for the Jaguars. Here they come. Down by 5. 2.5 minutes to play. Actually 2:20 now. Fields with it. Over to Brooks. Brooks with it in the corner. Right side corner. Trying to drive on Latham Jr., but he has it stripped away into the hands of Turner. Outlet now to Tyler. Tyler going to back up and run as much clock down as they possibly can. We're right at the 2-minute mark just now. 82-77, and the Lynx are going to hold like they have been. Hold for the final 10 seconds of the shot clock and then set up an offense. Here's final 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Tyler with it on the right wing. Takes a jumper, no good, blocked though by Brooks. Wanted a foul, didn't get one. And now Fields with it, brings it up the floor. Swarak, back to Fields. Fields from downtown, yes! The Jaguars hit the three, and it's a 2-point game. And this place is going absolutely nuts right now. 82-80, minute 34 left to play here in the ball game as we have a timeout taken and by Coach Lepp, and this one all of a sudden getting interesting. We saw the Jaguars come back in the first half when they were down by as many as 12, down by 12 to 15 yet again here in this one. They are a scrappy team, and this is but no situation though the Lynx have not been in. They shouldn't be too worried here, because the Lynx have been in this situation many times down the stretch. We've had 5 games separated by a point down the stretch, where the Lynx have lost 4 of them that way, but 4 of those they were all in overtime. So if this game can stay where it's at and not go into overtime, the Lynx have a great chance, but you never know what could happen in overtime. As this pressure here by the Jaguars yet again, some full court press. They throw it into Turner, over to Tyler. Minute 30 to go, 2-point game. Lynx lead 82-80. Tyler, Turner, Latham Jr., Johnson, and Powell on the floor. As Tyler gives it to Latham. Latham at the top of the key, looking to his right. Can't find Johnson in the corner, now guarded by Fields. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Here comes Anderson. Here comes the double team. Over to Johnson on the right wing. He's trying to drive into the paint, makes his man miss. Trying to kick it back out, has to go up for a shot. He does and gets it to go. L.J. Johnson with a little bit of a hesitation move, but a clutch move as he knocks down a big bucket there for the Lynx, and it's back to a 4-point lead. 84-80 as now a timeout taken by Governor State this go around. As now I believe it's a full timeout. So the Lynx going to take a quick seat here in this one. But again, if you're Coach Lepp, this is something where I'm trying to see what possibly they could draw up here in this one. But if you're the Lynx, you just got a huge bucket from L.J. Johnson on defensive side of things. You know Shane Maple is kind of going to be the go-to guy here in this one. But the Lynx have done well of shutting him down in this second half. He had 18 points in the first half. Right now, he is at 23 so far. So, again, held him to just 5 to 6 points here in this second half, but look for him to kind of have a say in it. We've said it all game long. He had 32 in the loss the other night. And I'm sure he's going to have a say in this. Maybe even possibly David Anderson with some rebounds down low. Look for him to kind of try to have a say in putting away his former team. Who possibly knows? Swarak going to inbound. The Lynx going to pressure the inbounds, at least to make them start the clock anyway. Minute 5 to go as the clock is started. 84-80. Governor State with the basketball as the Lynx have the lead. They throw it into Brooks. Brooks from the corner, thought about 3, instead drives in, puts up a floater over Turner and gets that one to fall. So they're trading buckets left and right here. 84-82, under 50 seconds to play. Johnson now with it on the left wing. He's going to try to back down Fields, over Fields, and he gets it to go as Johnson had the size advantage and took the advantage of it as well. Went right over Fields and knocks down the jumper from the free throw line. Back to a 4-point lead now for this Lynx squad. 86-82, 42 seconds left to play here in Governor State, and there's another timeout taken here. That's one thing you got to love about basketball. The final minute and a half could be the longest part of this ball game, but it's also the best part of the game as well, and you wouldn't trade it for anything else here on January 1st, the first day of the new year, and we have a barn burner here in the Jaguars Nation at Governor State here. And again, 86-82. Both teams have really kind of been trading buckets back and forth here in this one, whether it's been a 2 or a 3, but Maple has had a say in it. Also, I'd look for number 24, Brooks, Robbie Brooks. He's on 4 for 8 so far here today, as he's got 19 in the ball game for the Jaguars. Second leading scorer behind Maple, who's got 23, but also Swarak, he's got 14 on the night as well, with a couple of big threes here in this one. So look for kind of maybe, I'd take any of those two, either Maple, Brooks, or probably David Anderson, to kind of finish this ball game out for the Jaguars here in this one. As it is coming out of the timeout, Tyler, Turner, Johnson, Latham Jr., and Powell. Those are going to be the 5 to finish this one off. And only Johnson and Powell have 2 fouls apiece. Tyler only has 1, so I don't think you're going to be seeing any offense for defense here in this one. As Fields quickly brings it up the floor, he's looking left for Maple. He's guarded very closely by Tyler. They switch off. Maple bounce passes one to Anderson, gives it back, takes his screen, takes the long 3, no. Turner pulls down the offensive rebound, hands it to Johnson, and now they're going to have to start fouling with 23 seconds left as they foul L.J. Johnson here in this one. He's perfect from the line tonight, not the man you want to foul here in this one. As L.J. Johnson going to go to the line for an opportunity, 1-and-1 opportunity here in this one. As, again, Johnson so far 4 for 4 here tonight. Does have a 1-and-1 opportunity coming. And he knocks down that one right there. The Lynx were not worried here in this one. And Johnson, he's had his fair share of clutch moments at the free throw line. We saw him send it to overtime against William Penn. It was the second game of the season as he knocks down both right there. 88-82, 6-point game. Here comes Maple with it. Give and go with Brooks at the top of the key. He's going to take a three. And it's way off the side of the rim. Latham Jr. pulls down the board, and Fields is just going to have to bear hug him there, and he does, as that's going to foul Latham Jr. now with 13.9 seconds left. And I have to say, if Latham Jr. can knock down a pair right here in this one, I'd have to say it's all but over here for this Jaguar team. 88-82. 13.9 seconds left. Latham Jr.'s first free throw, no good. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity, and Powell is the only one that knew about it as he lays it up and in again. So 90-82 now. Coach Lepp saying don't foul. Maple just going to go right to the rack and lay it up and in. The Lynx basically kind of gave up on that one. 5 seconds left to play. They just got to inbound it here as they do get it to Tyler. Well, Tyler has it stolen away by Brooks. Brooks is trying to beat the shot clock or the buzzer, but he could not. As the final score here in this one, your Lynx win on the road yet again, 90-84 over Governor State here in this one. And this was a huge victory here for the Lynx. Again, not only riding a 5-game winning streak, make it 6 now with the win over Governor State again, but this was a great, great game. Again, Governor State, credit them. They battled back. They were down by as many as 12-14 at one point. Got it back. They got it all the way back to within 2 at one point here in the final minutes, and then couldn't pull it out at the end of the ball game. But your Lynx did a great job here today. Again, we're going to be excited to get back to you guys again. But this Lynx team, they did their job. They got it done on the road, and it seems like we've had more road games than home games, and the Lynx are actually more comfortable on the road, that seems like, at times than they are in the Jack Dean Nutt Arena. However, though, with that being said, the final score here today, 90-84, was your final here in this one. L.J. Johnson was your leading scorer here with 25 points on the night, but that's going to do it all for me. I'm Nick Jackson saying so long here from Governor State. Thank you, Malone, for board hopping back at the station, and we will see you guys 2 days from now in the Jack D. Nutt Arena on January 3rd against St. Ambrose. That is a 7:30 start time. Could possibly be a 7 o'clock start. We will let you know in the Facebook Live, so tune into that before the game. But other than that, your Lynx win here on the road, 90-84 over last year's conference champions. 90-84 is your final. Thank you so much for listening to Lincoln College Basketball. I'm Nick Jackson, and we'll see you guys on the 3rd.
That's all she wrote. This concludes tonight's coverage of Lincoln College basketball on 89X.